Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
You stuck in an orbit, we are going to kill you.
I'm so scared.
Here we are back on another episode of Handle with Scare, where two ghoul friends, me and Anna over there, having a moment, talk about all things terror, titillation, horror, body mods, burlesque, honestly, whatever the fuck falls out of our mouth at the time. As always, if there is something that you guys want to hear us talk about, if you want to argue one of the things that we've said on here, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, DM us, send us your dumb tattoos, all of the good things below. Don't forget, we've got new episodes dropping every week on Saturday. All of the places that you can find us will be listed below. Let's start off with our all-time fave segment, Dumb Tattoo of the Week.
I love this segment, and I love it today because we have Miss Roger
Pecan Sandies.
with the pecan sandies.
Look
Yes.
at that. The Playboy earrings really
Sexy.
send me, and I feel like the
Yes.
first time I saw this, I didn't realize that there was Playboy earrings involved.
Yes.
So that's pure magic.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And that
There's
is-
like nothing else that I can say about that.
but that is actually partnered with my sexy Leela from a few weeks ago that I did. If you go on Instagram at Curls Junior Tattoos, plug. You can see that, and it actually, they go together quite nicely, I think.
They do go together
They're
quite
friends.
nicely.
They're friends. Yeah. If you would like a stupid tattoo, go to pushtattoos.com. Click the booking link. About just about any of us will give you anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah, so go to Push Tattoo. It doesn't have to be a dumb tattoo either. They
No, yeah, we
they
do
do
regular
good-
shit too. I mean, I don't usually, but
good
everybody
regular
else
quality
does.
tattoos
Yeah,
as well.
regular. Well, good quality regular tattoos
That
and good
one.
quality dumb tattoos.
Yeah, so.
All right, so let's get this over with. Let's get it over
down
with.
to business.
This is an episode for people who don't fucking delve that deep into horror. Definitely, you can watch this episode if you're anybody.
So today we're talking about the big, most popular 4 franchises when it comes down to the OG slasher jams.
We have good old Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What's your favorite?
Okay. Probably when I was younger, it was definitely Friday the 13th.
Really? Why?
I don't know. There was just something about the Friday the 13th movies. Like when I was younger, I was all about them. As I got older, it switched. I am now like diehard Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, you are.
baby.
Yes, you are. My favorite used to be Nightmare on Elm Street, because it was one of the first movies I ever saw in the horror genre. Then I discovered as I got older and became a more seasoned person that Halloween, the first movie, is the best of the 4.
I am actually going to agree with you on that one, shockingly enough, which normally doesn't happen here.
But I
that
also
often.
have made up that Jamie Lee Curtis is my aunt. And
Okay,
I tell
cool.
people that all
I
the
love
time
that
at work.
for you.
I just love how the Halloween franchise is acted, overdone, overacted every single time.
I think out of all 4 of them, when I'm looking at just the very first movies, I think that the first original Halloween is the one that stands out to me the most.
Yep.
And stands up to me that, like, the very first time I watched it, and I was like, wow, holy shit, I loved that. That was a really good movie.
Yeah.
stayed versus like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Friday the 13th, and the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Over time, the more I've watched them, I've like picked out different things and been like, God, this is fucking, they really threw a lot of like camp in there. Or, like, damn, what the fuck was going on? Where like Halloween's one of the few ones that like I can still watch and be like, damn, like my opinion has not changed on that very first movie.
I always say Michael Myers is the one where I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna die now. Like, I'm not even trying.
I still would try just because I feel like you never see him running. And I think that's what really gets me about him is like that man never changes pace.
Well, our very wonderful and talented friend Oba Jackson said that he thinks that he comes through portals.
Oba Jackson, if you're watching this, just know that I hate you a little bit more.
Yeah,
than I did before.
he said that he
portals.
He's
not Hellraiser. He's not fucking Pinhead. He doesn't have a goddamn Lament configuration. Like, there's no portals.
Well, we don't know that.
There's no portals.
I will give Oba this. It's a good theory.
No.
It is.
Hot take in the comments. There's no fucking portals in Halloween.
Yeah, well, you know what? Whatever. I think the campiest one has to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy is camp.
Freddy is definitely as full stop camp. And they took that away in the newer version of it, and I think that's why I hated it, because it didn't feel like they were like, we're gonna turn him spooky, and I was like, okay, but that you like lost the vibe that Freddy maintained throughout a whole fucking franchise.
Yeah,
Robert Englund was scary, but the reason why he was scary in my mind is because he was straight up fucking having the time of his life, enjoying what he was doing by making all of these like fucking jokes and like being ridiculous and campy, and like that's kind of like what made it crazy,
right? Well, I think if you look at it from, if you've never seen the movies and we explain each and every one of the concepts to you, the one that you're going to be the most afraid of is Freddy, because you got to wake up to survive. So it's
the loss of control is there.
The loss of control is there, but then you watch them and you're just like, wow. Especially my personal favorite one, the second one, which has the most erotic weirdness going on the entire time, which is also a iconic queer movie now,
which we will get to in a later episode.
But hold on,
don't worry.
I want to actually just highlight one scene in the shower where the gym teacher, who is into the BDSM, gets whipped by the shower heads and the towels and shit. Hilarious. Stupid and hilarious.
It's
I don't think you're gonna find it, Evan. I really don't, because it's like bordering on like very inappropriate shit. But it's like the most weird, like, let's zoom in on these men movie.
Oh no, maybe it is there. Go back up.
It's ridiculous.
Right. One more down. I feel like that's definitely talking about it.
Yeah, well, it might be the documentary.
Yeah, honestly, the gayest horror movie ever made.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you know what? There's actually a really good documentary called Scream Queen, and this is the last I'll say on it because I don't want to ruin it for our episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. But
do some heavy watching and research. Oh yeah, in that movie. Do some heavy research and then come back to our episode about queer movies.
Yeah,
queer horror movies.
Speaking of like over, like acting weird, erotic tension moments, then I'm gonna bring up my absolute favorite, which is in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. When we have good old Stretch. Yeah, my girl on her denim in her jutes. I'm still looking for the perfect pair of jutes.
You just don't have to make them, I think.
So if anybody knows of the hookup on where I can get my own pair of jutes.
If you don't know what a jute is, it is a denim boot.
A boot made out of jeans. I want the pocket and the waist. Yeah, I want the pocket and the waistline. That's the most important thing. But there's this moment, and if you haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like, I don't know what to tell you. You should probably just fucking watch it at this point. So I'm gonna ruin it anyway. There's a scene, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where Stretch, who is a radio DJ, is in the studio, and Bubba and his brother Chop Top, who is my all-time favorite horror movie character across the board, period, the end, I don't care. Chop Top is where it's at. Break into the radio station because she has the recording of Bubba attacking like random men on the highway, whatever, who cares? They sucked anyway, so that's fine. But she is like face to face with Bubba, and she realizes that like she kind of has this power over him because she's a woman and he's like not very familiar with women.
Yeah.
So it becomes this like weird kind of sexual tension scene where she's like, you're being so good, and he's got like the chainsaw in between her legs, and she's like sweaty and stressed the fuck out, and she's like, you just want to be good, and he's like basically trying to like hump her with the chainsaw, and it is the most uncomfortable scene I've ever seen.
It's honestly like,
I love it.
Knowing me
It's
as me as a person, you would think like I would just be like so for it, but every time
it's uncomfortable and so weird.
Everything that I find funny is like not like that obvious every time. For example, when I was doing Heather's hair a couple weeks ago, we watched Halloween 4.
Oh god, Halloween 4.
And we heard a wonderful line. If you don't know Halloween 4, it surrounds one of the characters from one of the previous movies in her, like it's Laurie Strode's daughter, I believe is supposed to be Jeannie, and she is supposed to be with a foster family. Well, she goes to school and these kids are making fun of her because she doesn't have a Halloween costume, and there was one kid's like, oh, what's your Halloween costume gonna be? Oh, there's no Halloween costume because your parents are dead. And it's hilarious.
Like they're literally bullying this poor girl who has gone through this like traumatic experience, and they're like, where's your Halloween costume, Jamie? Oh, that's right, your mom can't make you one because she's dead. And we were like, oh my god,
that's my favorite thing ever. And I laughed for hours because I was like, why would they ever include this in the movie?
And like they kept doing it too, where like, you know, she's got an older foster sister, and the babysitter like cancels, and the foster mom's like, you gotta stay home and like take Jamie trick-or-treating or whatever. She's like, but I've got a date with whatever this gross ass man's name is.
Grady.
I can't get away from that. Like, this is so inconvenient
She's not,
for
and
me.
then she said, oh, do you love me like a sister? She's like, you're not my sister. I was like, bro, this movie's brutal. And then nobody wants to listen to poor Dr. Loomis the entire fucking series. Like, who is the greatest overactor I've ever seen in my life.
Donald Pleasance is Dr. Loomis.
Dr. Loomis,
overwhelming.
Anytime Dr. Loomis says, Michael, stop, I die. He's the worst overactor ever, and I love him.
If you haven't ever watched these and you're not really sure what we're talking about, in our intro song, I actually have him overreacting when he starts shouting "no" at the top of his lungs. It's the most like over drowned out, like no.
Yeah,
Like,
it's ridiculous.
He's just on the stairs in the scene too. Like, there's no reason for you to go as hard as you did on these no's. You would think that this man's leg is getting chopped off.
I want to make sure that, like, because honestly my least favorite of these is Friday the 13th series. It used to be like a lot, I used to like it a lot more, but the best movie in the franchise is the first one. Don't care about Jason that much. Why? Because Pam. I love Pam.
Oh, Pam.
I love Pam. She's ridiculous. When she starts talking to Michael in her, or I'm sorry, Jason in her head. And it's the best. And also the decapitation scene is the best. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. And I love it.
I do love the first Friday the 13th. It's definitely not my favorite.
I love Kevin Bacon.
We do love Kevin Bacon.
But you know, I honestly think that they get more entertaining as they get stupider.
I think they
Jason
definitely
X.
do. I'm gonna put it out here.
I love Jason X.
It's so great.
Thank you, Evan.
Fucking love that shit.
Two of the greatest deaths, or no, one of the greatest deaths.
One of the greatest deaths.
Two. I like the one where she gets frozen and they break her. I like the one where they get sucked in the fan. All the deaths in that movie are good. Sorry.
For everybody that doesn't already know, I fucking hate Jason X. I really
Uber
do.
Jason is
I
fucking dumb.
literally
But-
hate Uber Jason. I hate the mask.
The sleeping
The
bag.
audacity. But the sleeping bag kill is like one of the best deaths in the franchise.
But then-
I've never argued that point. I've only argued that Uber Jason is one of the worst fucking Jason designs ever, and I never want to see it again. I never want
Well,
to
you
see it
never
again.
will, so it doesn't matter. But you know what? Then we go to like speaking of movies with horrible acting, Freddy versus Jason has Kelly Rowland in one
It
of
has
the worst.
the most cringiest acting that
Kelly
I've ever
Rowland in
heard
one of
in
the
my
worst
life.
wigs and worst acting performances I've ever seen.
But and then on top of that, oh god, what's the kid's name? Who's the guy who plays Mark in that movie? The little blonde one. I don't remember the actor's name right now. I don't really care. Someone come for me. That's fine. But his acting when they literally escape and they're in the high school and he's just like, you hear his little song and he's like telling the story. It is the worst thing that I've
It's so
ever
dumb.
seen. And she's just sitting there in the hallway going, no. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
It's horrible. It's horrible
It's
acting.
trash.
The worst movie of
But I
all,
do still love the movie, so it's fine.
worst movie of all four of these series is New Nightmare for me though. I hate
New Nightmare, I wish never existed in my life.
I hate it. I hate the meta Freddy. I hate it.
I like that one.
You do? I hate meta
Hot
Freddy.
take, Evan.
I enjoy that.
That is a hot take.
This is gonna be
enjoy
like
that
the
stuff.
time that Evan tried to defend Leprechaun.
Yo, we watched that the other day. I love Leprechaun.
I'm glad you're not. You know what? You know
no,
what?
he made you watch all of them.
No. They were on TV and we were hanging out.
In the
Leprechaun
hood.
in the
Well,
Hood.
That's the best
That's
one.
the only good one.
But like, yeah, New Nightmare is pretty bad. I personally love H2O. I know nobody does, but I love
Another
it.
good one.
I love
Okay.
Busta Rhymes is in it. It's great.
Here's the thing with H2O, I tolerate it for what it is. It is
H2O
what it
was
is.
LL Cool J. Busta
Nothing
Rhymes was
will-
Busta Rhymes is in Resurrection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Resurrection.
okay,
He
never
does the
mind.
judo kick and
Both of
stay
those,
up.
hilarious. Tyra
Yeah.
Banks is in one of them.
They're funny as fuck. I like them for what they
Jamie
are.
Lee Curtis comes back but isn't hurt, isn't Lori.
yeah,
Like,
it's
it's so stupid.
There's a lot of shit that
They were like,
happens
you
in
know
those
what we're gonna
movies,
do?
but-
You know what they said when they pitched those movies? They said we're gonna bring Jamie Lee Curtis back, and it's gonna be a cameo, and it's gonna be super unimportant. And then now, which I think is so crazy, this is one of the only times I've ever seen this happen, because now we have Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode
as
again,
coming back,
which
as
is
Laurie Strode in
so
this new
weird.
one.
She was Laurie Strode in H2O.
She was in the last one, but not. She was in H2O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't. Okay, so
They
the
didn't
first,
touch on it at first.
the first 3/4 of the movie, you could see like little hints at it. Like he
Yeah.
would leave like marks, or it would be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, where did you come from? There would be like a lot of different
Yeah.
questions and shit. But then at the end, you knew. But
Yeah.
it was like,
But it was so. It was,
It was so
quick.
like subtle. They
Yeah.
didn't like make a huge deal out of it. I feel like.
I think they made H2O, but then it got lost. But I think they originally started making it for the fans. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was like the 20th
definitely.
anniversary. You know, you want
Yeah.
everybody to get all excited. for
Honestly,
it,
once
and it
they
didn't
made
work out
her,
right.
once they
Yeah.
made her Laurie at the end, I think that was like thrown in there, like, oh, we
Yeah.
got to make this make sense. But now they brought her back again. I've never seen this happen before, where they bring her back again in like a not joking way at all. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
just not sure if I like the less supernatural idea about it, because they're kind of dropping. They dropped a little bit of that.
they're definitely dropping a little bit of that for sure. And I think that was one of the things that was prevalent in the newer, in like the older movies, but not overly prevalent. You know,
Yeah,
it was one of
it
those
wasn't
subtle
like
things where
the-
you're like, there's definitely like something not entirely human about this.
Yeah.
And then it kind of moved away from it. It definitely moved away from it in the fucking.
It was the 4th and 5th one where they made it like the cult. And
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what, Michael's the only one they haven't tried to redesign.
Agreed.
Like
He was-
they've fucked the mask up, but they've distressed the mask a little
But
bit.
that's
and stuff.
that makes sense because
Yeah,
it
it's
moved
time.
with this, like with the time. That was the only thing
But-
that made sense. But he's the only one that definitely didn't get like a complete overhaul. Well, I mean, Freddy didn't get that much of a complete overhaul.
That
Whoa.
one Freddy.
entirely until
Oh,
That
that
reboot.
Freddy
No,
looks stupid.
That reboot.
until the reboots.
Horrible.
'Cause
Well,
at
that's what
least-
I'm talking
at
about.
least even
No,
with the-
no, like even Rob didn't redesign Michael.
Well,
Yeah.
even the reboots of the Friday the 13th, or the reboot of the Friday the 13th, you didn't really get like a redesign. It was just like a
Yeah.
hulking.
But you got Uber Jason.
Yeah, but that was
one
still
point,
in the
yeah.
whole.
That was yeah, but that's what. But like, think about all of the. But there was a lot of different complete redos of the mask. Like I know if you pull up like the evolution of Jason mask, there's a lot more of like redesigns that people
Yeah.
didn't notice. I
And then
feel
there's
like,
Bag Jason.
fuck fucking burlap sack Jason.
Yeah, but they like Michael's always been Michael. Like has always been that William Shatner mask.
Yeah, with just the full just distract, because like even there was like some color changes too on the Jason mask. Like I think it went from blue to red at one point. Like there were a couple different like random little things that they changed. It was like, why did you change that? There was no need to change
but it was never a complete overhaul.
Because there was also like the change up of his weapons too. Like you had when he had like the harpoons instead of the. There was like a bunch of different random things that they like did, but Michael always was knife, jumpsuit, mask.
Yeah, I think honestly the best evolution of masks has been Leatherface has had really good.
I love the changes, and that might just be biased because
I'm like okay with it. Like in him, Freddy unacceptable. The whole Freddy thing was unacceptable. Anything other than Robert Englund, like the Freddy whole thing needs to die with Robert Englund.
And like, no shade to the actor whose name I'm blanking on right now, because I like him as an actor and I understand what he tried to do. I do. I didn't like it, but I understood what he was trying to do. It's the same actor that played Rorschach in Watchmen.
Yeah. And you would have thought that it was going to be great because of that.
Yeah, because I loved him in that movie. I love Watchmen though. Yeah. I like him as an actor. I understood what he was trying to do. He didn't want to basically look like he was ripping off Robert Englund. I get it. I still didn't like it at all.
No.
I think that they leaned way too hard into, well, he was supposed to be like a child molesting pedophile, so we're going to make him super uncomfortably rapey. And I'm like, no, thank you.
He had big shoes to fill, and anybody who ever has to play Freddy again is going to, because Freddy is the only one of these four that talks.
Yes.
So
for sure,
it's hard to get anybody to play his character. I won't accept it. You don't know who the fuck is playing Michael Myers at each time. You know that Kane Hodder is most likely playing Jason.
Yeah, it's either CJ Graham or Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
You're like, it's one of the two.
But you don't know who's playing Leatherface most of the time.
Yeah.
You know.
And like I said, I liked the different versions of Leatherface. I thought it was so fun that like, you know, he had his typical attire with his butcher apron and all that, but then you had Pretty Lady Leatherface.
Yeah, Pretty Lady Leatherface is the best.
Where he is in this suit and he's trying to look good and he doesn't understand this shit, so he's got that really goofy makeup on his face and shit. Like I loved that. I thought it made sense as like his development and his mentality that you get to see.
Yeah.
Definitely loved. And even in some of the newer versions of Texas Chainsaw, which I don't like. I'm going to throw that out there right now. People are going to come for me. I hated them. I didn't like Leatherface. I didn't like, there's another one that I can't think of because they've redone it twice.
I have a very hot take. It's the hottest take of the day. My favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the Matthew McConaughey one. I think it's hilarious. It makes me laugh and brings joy to my heart. Stupid. And
it's pretty funny.
I think Matthew McConaughey is hilarious in it.
He hams it up. Like if we're talking overacting, there's a few scenes in that where he's fucking going nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like overacting. I just immediately think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with the sheriff that comes in when he's at the cut right, the chainsaw place, because it's overacting in the dumbest way where it's not over the top, but he's literally sitting there with the two different chains. Like he doesn't say anything to the person and he just starts like taking chainsaws off the wall and he's like doing these weird karate moves with them. Like you're like, what the fuck are you? Who would actually go into a place and just be like, you want to test him out? And you just see this dude like it was overacting in like,
I love it,
the dumbest way without being like, he didn't talk a lot. He wasn't like obnoxious about it, but it was still fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I love that. And yeah, I mean, I just feel like
also Chop Top as an entire character. The most copious amount of overacting when he's like running around in the underground shrieking Nom Land.
So
whoever, like Bill Moseley, I love you to death. Whoever thought that was the way to go is to have him running around shrieking Nom Land, Nom Land.
Why not? Why not? Honestly, what I think we can all agree with and be honest about is if any iteration aside from the new Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jared Padalecki Friday the 13th.
Ah,
2003.
yes.
We will
Almost forgot about
we will
that.
watch any of these movies if they're on television. It does not matter which one. It does not matter what number. We will watch them all.
I'm gonna make one exception, and you
What?
know what I'm about to say.
What?
Halloween 3. I'm not watching it.
Fucking love that one.
Season of the Witch is good. You just don't like it
Love
because
No. That's it.
Oh,
I'm done.
so
No,
good.
I'm done. I have to leave.
Evan, I'm with you on this. All right, you know what it's time for?
My favorite segment ever in the whole wide world.
Fuck, marry, kill.
All right. I can see the glint in your eye. You know what you're gonna say, aren't
okay,
you?
so we've got we have Chop Top, we have New Freddy. That's not Robert Englund.
Jackie Earl Haley. I had to look
Thank
that
you.
up.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his
Yeah,
name, but I like
and,
knew exactly who he was.
Mm.
Can we do the cut rate Burt Reynolds from season of the or the third? Queen?
Yeah,
That
yes.
guy's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
fucking,
God.
fucking cut rate Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds.
Cut rate Burt Reynolds.
I do love Burt Reynolds so very much.
Well, you get like the third cousin who didn't come out right.
Yeah,
I
it didn't
know.
come out quite right.
Yeah.
I know, but god damn it, I love Burt Reynolds. I could
Yeah.
have a whole episode talking about how much I love Burt Reynolds, though.
We should. Yeah, you know
I
what?
was just
I'm
watching
marrying
Cannibal-
I'm marrying Chop Top because that'd be entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be entertaining. I'm fucking the cut rate Burt Reynolds. Discount Burt Reynolds always, but I just don't think that I could be with somebody who's discount Burt Reynolds long term. And then I'm killing that fucking monstrosity that was Freddy because it was horrible and it made me very upset.
Okay. Oh man, this was hard. This was so hard. I think I'm going to kill discount Burt Reynolds.
Why? Because you hate Season of the Witch that much?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Also because again, I don't want discount Burt Reynolds. I want real Burt Reynolds.
That's fair.
So there's that. I feel like I'm going to I feel like I'm gonna marry the new Freddy because I don't want that bitch showing up in my dreams. Because I feel like he's the kind of person that if I were to fuck him once, he would just like keep coming in my dream. I don't want that. I don't want you invading my dreams. I feel like if I was married to you, like I wouldn't have to deal with it.
I mean, is he going to be coming in your dreams or coming in your dreams?
Come on, Eileen.
Yeah. Not come on, Eileen. Where?
No one says where on Eileen. Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna have to marry him so I don't have to deal with him like invading my dreams. And then I guess I am swinging some booty meat onto Chop Top and his hanger.
That's fair.
I just hope that he's not one of those like. I feel like what if Chop Top tries to talk dirty and the only dirty thing that he says is "lick my plate, you dog dick." I don't know if I'll be able to perform after that,
Oh, why not?
but I'm sticking to it. At least he'll have some really good jams playing while we doing the deed. because
He'll go
he's-
now at the end. He'll go Nomland.
Yeah, when he comes, he's just gonna scream "Nomland."
Yeah.
Oh God,
yeah.
it's fine as long as the music is there. Music is my life.
Well, everybody on that note,
I gotta go. I gotta go
others
right now.
gotta go. So
I quit.
enjoy.
Until next time.
Yeah, I know I said last one was our last podcast, but
you know, we just show up when we show up.
yeah.
Peace and blessings. Bye.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, a chud.
What did it mean to you to see that? Did it mean they love me?
Place to look to the past.
Fucking mess you made of things again.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.